Romans 8:28 has long been a verse of profound comfort and guidance for Christians, offering reassurance in the midst of trials. However, its true depth is often overshadowed by misunderstandings. This verse, especially in its varied translations across different Bible versions, centers on the concept of God's providential activity in our lives. Unlike miracles where God suspends natural laws to bring about an outcome, his providential work is woven through the fabric of natural processes and events. A classic biblical example of this is the contrast between the miraculous provision of manna for Israel in the wilderness and the way God provides for our needs today through natural means like agriculture and ecosystems. The phrase, "all things," in Romans 8:28 warrants careful consideration. It doesn't literally encompass every single event or circumstance. Instead, its interpretation is largely dependent on the context of suffering and hardship that the passage addresses. The verse suggests that, in the grand tapestry of God's plan, even the trials and tribulations faced by Christians can be transformed into something that contributes to their ultimate good and God's overarching purpose. It's crucial to understand that this doesn't imply God is the author of suffering or adversity. Rather, he permits these challenges and ingeniously integrates them into his divine plan, always respecting the free will he has given us. The Bible offers several instances demonstrating this principle. The story of Joseph is a poignant example. Despite being sold into slavery by his brothers and wrongfully imprisoned, these series of unfortunate events were used by God to position Joseph in a place of authority, eventually leading to the preservation of his family during a famine. This narrative exemplifies how God can pivot human actions, even those with ill intent, towards outcomes that align with his benevolent plans. Similarly, Apostle Paul's experiences serve as testament to this truth. His imprisonment, which at first glance seems like a setback, actually became a catalyst for the proliferation of the gospel. During his confinement, he wrote epistles and influenced many, even within Caesar's household. These occurrences highlight how God's providence can transform adverse situations into opportunities for furthering his kingdom. Expanding further on the idea of all things, it's important to note that not every event in our lives is a direct manifestation of divine providence. Many aspects of daily life may seem mundane or insignificant in the grand scheme. However, the prospect of God working through even the trivialities should inspire awe and wonder. At the same time, this concept doesn't negate the necessity of free will and personal responsibility. We can't adopt a fatalistic attitude or presume that every choice, including sinful actions, is automatically redirected for our benefit. The good that God orchestrates through various circumstances may not always be immediately apparent. Often, the fruits of such divine orchestration are realized only in hindsight, or perhaps not fully understood until eternity. This was true for biblical figures like Job, who endured immense suffering without a clear understanding of the reasons behind his trials during his lifetime. In conclusion, Romans 8:28 invites Christians to adopt a perspective that sees beyond the immediate pain and struggles of life. It encourages a steadfast faith, recognizing that our sufferings are not just random occurrences, but are part of a larger divine narrative that God is weaving for our ultimate benefit. This understanding fosters resilience, patience, and a deeper reliance on God, knowing that in his sovereignty, he is working everything together for our good, shaping us for eternity.